And also, you will be receiving the recording as well because I'm going to email it to you. So yes. So let's talk about maximizing the power of music in your classroom. So I always like to share, as if you have been following me for a while, or maybe not, maybe you just came across my content, but music, honestly, a couple years ago, music is what saved me and what really helped me stay, together during a very hard year for me. So right after the pandemic, and a lot of people know this because I am very vocal about it. But right after the pandemic, I just came down crashing with anxiety, and I actually had to get on medication for it, and I had to get therapy for it so that I could learn how to cope with it. And it was just such a sad period for me because I usually, I mean, we love our jobs. We go to our jobs. We want to do the best that we can, and we, want to teach our students. But at that time, I just, that wasn't there. Like, I know that I love my job, but I just did not feel like me. But when I started teaching, I went back, of course, because I had to. And when I was started teaching, I started using music. I noticed that was when my students enjoyed the lessons the most. That was when I was just kind of at ease during that entire time. And any time that I'm feeling like a dry spell in the classroom, music. Even if we just did a music lesson 2 weeks ago, and I do use music pretty regularly in my class. So for that reason, I believe it is so important. It is our students' language as well. Music connects us all because we all listen to music. We're different to different genres, but we all love music for different reasons. So for that, it's so important because the students, then later on, you find that they have added songs to their playlist. Then you have them singing in them in your class, and they're just acquiring a lot of language that they wouldn't if we did not bring the music. So that's one of many reasons why I think music is powerful in the classroom. So today I am going to share with you several things. I talked about designing a learning experience with music, because many times people do not, and I know that in my first years of teaching, this was my train of thought as well, is that I thought I had to do something with the entire song. So I would look at a song and I would say, oh, this song is too hard for my students. Or I would look at the song and I would say, oh, this song is, I would just find something wrong with the song. And if there was one little thing wrong with the song, I would not use it. Now, I do have, that this is just me, I do have that if the song does have a lot of language and maybe some messages that are not very positive, I will not use the song in the classroom. And that's just personal to me. Some people are like, for example, Despacito. I love Despacito. I used to get down with Despacito, but that is not a song I'm going to bring personally. Personally, I'm not saying you shouldn't. That's just personally to my classroom, because even though probably if you teach high school, my own students have told me, oh, profe, but we hear worse on our own. We hear worse songs. We watch worse things. Let's watch it. No, 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 no. I'm not doing it. You can do it, but I'm not doing it in the class. So that is kind of how I approach it. But other than that, if the song seems like, oh, it's too advanced, if there are a few lines that are that align with the level that I'm teaching, I'm going to bring that song. If a song, maybe I picked a song for level 3, but I can use it with level 2, I will modify a little bit of what my focus is going to be to bring it to level 2. So that is the case of the song Gracias by Los Polinesios, which is the one that I shared about. I shared a blog post about with Gracias from Los Polinesios about 2 weeks ago, I want to say. And that's when I talked about blackout poetry, because that's just what I was able to use that with level 3 and level 2. And it has a lot of wonderful activities that you can do with one song, modifying it. So you don't have to teach the entire song. So if the song is you're thinking, oh, that's way out of range for my learners, you don't have to teach the entire song. You can, of course, they're going to listen to the entire song, but you can focus on just a few lyric chunks. And that's really what, everything else is going to be noise to the learner. but you're gonna focus on a few lyric chunks. Then you can also focus on different elements. So when we're talking about designing a learning experience with music, I always personally like to introduce the artist. And if the song and if the video has cultural elements within it, wonderful. But we know that's not normally the case, right? What is on most videos nowadays anyways of like regular music? We don't have much culture in there, but there are some videos that have so much culture and they're beautiful, and you can go deep into it and embrace that culture and just teach with the song and let the song be the entire driving force of your unit. You can build a whole unit out of just one song when you have such a rich song. But if there is no culture in the actual video, you can focus on the artist, where the artist is from. That's how you can approach and introduce and talk about that country. And you can do what we call a map talk, which is you project the picture of the artist and you project a map of where the artist is from, where they were born, and then you can talk about all of those elements. So and you can even, I always like when I'm doing map talk for any artist, and many times we'll see a lot of artists from Colombia, because the Colombian people have so many artists that are very known here and even in the US. But when we're talking about those artists, okay, so where is Colombia? Is it in South America? Is it in North America? And students already know this, but we're using the target language to just reinforce that. Or what bodies of water, what oceans are nearby Colombia? What other countries are there? So we're revisiting those concepts in the target language as we are introducing the artist, Jenny's. So, and honestly, it comes down to the students enjoying the lyrics. And I would say this, I have brought songs, and the song Gracias by Los Polinesios is one of them. It's very pop-like. And my students, I don't know about your students, because we all have different types of students in our classroom. My students, some of them, I would say a few of them actually really like pop music, but most of them, that's not their thing. So, and then specifically the song from Los Polinesios, Gracias, is just a very soft pop, and it's just so different. So, but I learned to let go of the fear of bringing different music genres in my classroom, because if I can be honest with you, my first years of teaching, I only brought salsa and cumbia, and that's it. Because I was not thinking, and I only brought Shakira, Marc Anthony, and Selena Quintanilla. That's it. I was not thinking, and I was not being intentional. Of the songs and the music gives me access to feature so many people inside the countries where our students are going to be, the countries where students are going to be learning about. So in the end, think about also what you would like for your students to do with the song. So for example, in the song Gracias, which is thank you by Los Polinesios, and the song, I know I've been mentioning it a lot, but I'm using that song as an example tonight. The song talks about just being grateful for the people in their lives, right? Different people. And if you look at the video, they're just grateful. They portray different families, different friends, and they're just showing all this gratitude. So when I created my unit for Gracias, I decided I wanted my students to write a heartfelt thank you note to somebody in their lives. So I could do that with that song, because that song lends itself to it so well. Now, that does not mean they're going to learn every single lyric in the song or anything like that, but they are going to connect with what they're going to connect. So I will be sharing with you this presentation. And that way, if you want to know more about designing a learning experience with music fully, you can, there's a YouTube video I have with La Maestra Loca. I learned so many activities that are engaging to do with music from her. But I have linked that YouTube video here. And I also have blogged numerous times about different activities you can do in the classroom with your students using music. So we're going to, this is going to be part of our entire masterclass tonight, designing a learning experience with music. And remember, you can design a learning experience for 30 minutes, not even a full class. Or you can design a learning experience for days or for weeks. Because if you build a whole unit out of a song, yeah, that's going to be wonderful too. So yes, Hugo says he's learning Spanish on his own, Despacito, and it's great. Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me personally, I would not use it, but maybe if I was teaching college, sure, why not? Like, it's a great song. We can dance. So the other thing I want to point you to are some free resources that I want to share with you. And you probably are already familiar with many of these. Please let me know in the chat. One that has very rich activities is going to be Señor Ashby's Facebook group, that is Locura de Marzo. So Señor Ashby runs Locura de Marzo, and I love that the community is just so kind and generous. They share so many resources. So let me know in the chat if you know where to find Señor Ashby's music resources. Have you, yes or no? Just yes or no. Like, you know where to find it, you've seen it, you know what's available. Yes, señora. Yes, yes. So lots of people are saying yes. Amazing. So that is the one place that I will say. Is it available on Facebook? Mike is asking. Yes, yes. Okay, so in this session, I'm not talking about how to do the music brackets or the music competition. I'm not going to address that here, because that will be an entire session of its own. And I actually have thought about doing a session where I explain how I do it, but you have so much flexibility with how to do a music bracket in your class. That's what I will say today. And maybe later I can do a video where I explain about it, and it will be great to help with that. So yes, Senor Ashby actually has two competitions. He has one in March, during that time where, you know, the kids are tired, you're tired, everybody's tired, right? And what a perfect time to do it. He also has one in October, which he calls Locotubre, that just passed not too long ago. And that's also October, November is like that time where everybody's tired and everybody's energy is low. So it works out wonderfully. So yes, I am going to be sharing these slides. Yes, absolutely, yes. So for Senor Ashby, and I'm going to bring my tab over here, and you might get to see my messy desktop. I don't know, are you team messy desktop or neat desktop? Because I am super messy desktop. Working to change that, but it's going to take some time. So yes, so Senor Ashby has this free website, and please, if you use it, you know, show some love. And he does have some merchandise that he sells with like songs and things like that. He has a store. I need to go to his store myself, and I need to go support him, because he has been doing this for years, So what I want you to see, I just shared this link, and again, I will share with you the presentation. I will email it to you for sure. So if you go to his website, you're going to see that he has Locura de Marzo, March Madness, from 2017 all the way to 2023. Every single one of these is a competition that he hosted in his site, right, since when he started. And just because 2017 is so long ago, don't think that you're not going to find good resources in there. And so, but I'm going to go to the one from 2023. So I'm going to click right here, Locura de Marzo. And where I suggest you go find what you need, even if you're not doing, because this is already passed, we're not doing this, though you could do it with your students alone. But this is where when I say I was going to tell you where to find free resources, this is where you can find so many resources. So here you have all the songs that they use for Locura de Marzo. And you have most people, the teachers from the website, they collaborate and they make so many wonderful activities. So for example, this song right here, oh my God, I love this song. This song is amazing. So this song by Milena Wharton is called Maravilloso, and it's so rich in culture, y'all. It's so wonderful. But for example, let's go over here to this one, and we're going to go find a slideshow about Milena Wharton. And it's already done for you. If you need to change it, make it a little bit more difficult because, you know, you teach a AP class or whatever, make a copy and modify to however it is that you want it. But look at this. I mean, how long does it take to put pictures and slides together? A long time. So I'm very appreciative that it's already like this. I'm not sharing my screen. Is that what you're saying? Can you see my screen? Yes. Because it says I'm sharing it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I was like, okay, yes. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Senia, I don't know what's going on, but yes, I am sharing my screen. Thank you. So in particular, you're gonna see that these are all of these activities. Do you have to do all of these activities? Absolutely not, but definitely feature so many beautiful places from Peru. So we're representing Peru tonight. Of course you love it, Carmen, of course you love it. No, but I love it too. I have a special love for Peru because I spent 3 weeks there and I just fell in love with the people, with the culture, with the food. Oh my God, Peruvian food is some of my favorites. So yes. So you can see there's all of these resources. Okay. So if you most like, just like I said, please, you don't have to do this right now, but just know that if you go to this, you're going to find all the he has the music competitions, and then he has the Locotubre one. So this is the one that just passed, okay? So this is another one. So if you go to share Google Drive, oh my God, there's so many wonderful resources. Now, yes, again, if you go to the share Google Drive, you're going to see all the songs. Like here's Baila esta cumbia de Selena. I think this is what is that. And you have all of these activities that people have so kindly made and share. And if you can use something, when I actually did Locotubre this year recently with my students, and I did not use every single thing. I only did I mean, of course we did the voting, the daily voting, but I only pick a couple songs to focus on because I had other units going on. But again, those resources are there. And if you go to the general resources, never skip out on the general resources, okay? Never skip it out. Yes, Senia, you can do it and they will love it because it's music that they have heard. And if they haven't, sometimes they haven't heard of artists, it exposes them to it. So in Locotubre folder, let me share this one right here. So let me share the actual page because I do want to share the page. If you go to share Google Drive, right here for Locotubre, go to Google Drive and then make sure you go to the general link. So when you go to the general link, you are going to see all of these resources. Oh, I mean, and there's so many of them, okay? But I'm not going to, I'm going to share with you some that you can use with any song. There was one that was so great. This one right here, I don't know who made this one, but oh my God, I just want to say thank you, okay? Because it's so wonderful. Talk about giving a scaffolding to your learners so that they can write about songs. So if you have your students, once you hear a song, you have your students, you want to have them write about it, then you can give this to your students and you will model. So for example, if I'm talking about Milena Wharton song that I am so biased because I love her so much. So I would say, en mi opinión, la canción Maravilloso es demasiado alegre, puedo decir, alegre y sí, es bastante alegre y me encanta. También puedo decir, something else I can say, pienso que la cantante Milena Wharton es bastante talentosa, ¿sí? Okay, so I'm making little different sentences with this. And here are some more adjectives, because sometimes what happens is our students stay stuck on the same ones, but it's actually because we don't expose them to more, or we don't give them more. Because, we ourselves stay within the same language, even as everyday speakers, unless we make the effort to kind of stretch ourselves with that. So when we are doing different descriptions for songs, we use this. I even use this with my heritage learners too, because somebody was asking, can you do this with heritage learners? Absolutely, yes. And your students, I mean, this will support your heritage learners too. And it's okay if they're going to use it. That's what the resource is there for. So there are other little things in here that are so useful for songs that you are welcome to look at. And again, here's another slideshow that has artist bios. So maybe you're not doing the music bracket, and that's okay, but maybe you're bringing a song by Karol G. And here's already a blurb about her that you don't have to go make. So maybe you're using an old song from Daddy Yankee, Soda Stereo. So just I like to know, I like to look at this because I want to see, okay, you know, they have some resources on different artists, so I can use it. So there's the different types of songs and all of that. So this is great. It's great. Yes, Lisa, the great for laminating. So so yes. So somebody asked if I could post that. You can find this inside the Senor Ashby's website. It's there. It's free. I will share it here, that particular one here. But you can find it again by going to Senor Ashby's website. So that is a place where you can find a ton of free resources for different activities that you can do with music. So that is one thing that I wanted to share. I have link, and I will share with you again. I will share with you the link to this presentation. Carrie Totes, she has a free unit on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's completely free. And then Claudia also has a little mini activity sequence for the song La Gozadera. And then you have Bethany Drew, who blogged, and she has two sequences of activities for two different songs, lower levels and upper levels. So the reason I'm sharing these two is because they're free, and also because they are available to the public, but they're all great examples of what lesson sequences of learning experiences with music. And I have one too, and I'm gonna go back and add it before I share the link with you. I have the song Somos los Prietos by Chucky Town, which I am also a huge fan of Chucky Town, but I have that song, I have a unit, and I've shared it for free already. So I will link it over here so you can have that too, in case you have not used that either. But yes, so those are places that I will recommend if you teach Spanish, if you teach French. If I have French teachers, I didn't even ask how unconsiderate of me. If anybody is a French teacher, please let me know, because French teachers also have their music group as well, and they have their music website too, similar to Senor Ashby's, where they can find and connect with many, many other teachers. And there are a lot of great activities. So I will see if I can pop in the link in here in just a moment. So the other things I wanted to share with you is thank you. Yes, that is the name of the site, and that's where you'll find your resources. So the other thing that I want to say is, okay, so you found the song that you like. Maybe you're only going to do one verse. So now we want to make sure we bring the tech, right? We bring the tech to support what it is that we want to do, which is get the students hooked on the song and get the students to enjoy the song. But if we want to do activities, we want to save time. So for me, I when AI first, well, not AI, but ChatGPT, which is one of the AI tools, first came out, I was like, let's go, let's do this, let's learn it. And all these other AI tools, it's like, let's learn it, let's give it a try, let's see what it can do. So the way that I look at it is that it is here to assist me, not to replace me, and also to save me time, because we are already stretched out as teachers. So with that being said, I don't know if you have used, probably, because these are very, very much very popular, and a lot of teachers have been sharing about this. But two of my favorite ones, TWI. So let me know in the chat, yes, no, have you used TWI before? See, no, see, no. Yes, yes, yes. No, not yet. No, 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 not yet. Okay, a little, a little, okay. And then we have the other one that is Question Well. In my opinion, Question Well is the most underrated AI tool, because everybody talks about ChatGPT, everybody talks about TWI, everybody talks about Diffit, Magic School AI, but not enough people are talking about Question Well. Question Well is a time saver. Okay, so I'm gonna very, 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 very quickly model for you what this is going to look like in your class. And as I mentioned, what we're going to do, we're gonna go find something that we can use. Let me go over here to this one. I'm not gonna create anything, okay? Let's just say that I'm walking into my class tomorrow, I'm doing a song by Milena Wharton. So I just copied and pasted this because this was available to me at Senor Ashby's site. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to TWI, and I'll share with you my screen in just a sec. I know that is sharing Milena's screen, but I'm gonna share with you my TWI screen in just a second. So right here, this is what TWI looks like. TWI is 100% free, Okay, it is free. So if you go to Google, type TWE, and it is free. I have not been asked to make any payments as of yet, and I haven't been told this is going away, or you're gonna have to make payments or whatever. So there's two things you want to know as a language teacher with TWE. Number one, you can turn any video. You can go find a video on YouTube, paste it in here, and it will create a script for you of that video, like in 2 seconds. Well, more like 20. And then you can also paste any text, and it will create questions, ABCD, true or false, and it may do it in English, even though you give it the text in Spanish. But all you got to do is copy and paste on ChatGPT, and it will translate it for you. And you, of course, since you're the teacher, because this is not here to replace us, we still have to look through the questions and say, well, my learners don't know this. Let me use this other word. Let me change it up. I really don't like this translation and all of that. So and that's actually really, really, I think, the best practice when you ask ChatGPT. I'm all for using ChatGPT to save you time, or AI to save you time, but you still have to read, and you still have to be purposeful as the text you're going to give your students, because you, the teacher, know what your students are able to do. You are the one that's able to give the learners what Dr. Krashen calls a input plus one, right? Like the input that they need. So yes. So let me model for you this. So I'm going to use the text. So I am going to create some questions right here. And I'm going to just paste this from Milena that I did not make for me. And I'm going to, yes, I do know how to, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading on the chat. But Monica and Angela, oh, it's all good. So I was totally confused for a second. So yes, so we paste the text in here, and we tell it, how simple we want it, how we want it. And then I'm just going to tell it, do the magic for me. And of course, it made the questions for me in English. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. And if I go to ChatGPT, I paste this to ChatGPT, and then it will translate it for me. And then I change the language real quick, and then I can print it on a worksheet. And that's it. These are 10 questions that I did not have to do. Okay, so 10 questions that I did not have to do. So the other cool thing about TWE that you should that you can do is that, and I'm actually not going to go through the whole ordeal, but if you were to bring a video, you will go to convert audio and video to text. So you can see this one right here, because well, no, that's the one I just did. Let's see, let's go to this one. Maybe this one, no. Okay, yes, this was a video. Okay, so this was a video about Machu Picchu. And what I did is I put it in here. I told it to do the magic, and they gave me the transcript of the whole video. So now, and give it to me in the target language. So I just copy it and I paste it, and then I can make an activity with it. I can tell it, make me a fill in the gap activity with this text. And then it will make me the fill in the gap activity, but it's going to tell me, okay, based on that text, select the words that you want to target. Because of course, I don't want it to be random, right? So I just selected a few just for modeling purposes. And then it made my activity. And all I have to do now is copy and paste it into a worksheet, double space it, and print it. And what else do you want to do with this? Don't stop, keep making activities. So I can, okay, tell me which, let's do the title, 3 titles. So here's the question, which one is the title that fits best? So that's a little bit more high order thinking. And I can have it do true or false statements. So I could copy and paste all of these and put them on a Word document. And then I have a whole activity about Milena, Machu Picchu, because we're going to see Machu Picchu on this video. And we're going to talk about Peru and all these other elements. And I have really not spent much time on this lesson. I mean, and I haven't even looked at the video yet with my students. So this is what I mean, where you can totally connect with culture before even watching the video. Rocio says, do you need to create an account for TWE? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But they shouldn't ask you any money or anything. It's totally free, or it was when I signed up for it, which has been a couple months now. And then I use this a lot. I use this a lot. And if it gives me the results in Spanish, I mean, in English, again, I just go and translate them and then change the language to the language I want it to have. Okay, so that's one. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to, we're going to use the same text again. So we're going to take this text from Twee, and it may not do a lot for me in Question Well right now, because Question Well is the other one. This is the one that I say it's the most underrated, because all teachers use Blue-Kit, quizzes, Gimkit, what else is there? Kahoot, right? We all use something, and we all have a use for something. So Question Well is amazing, amazing. So what you're going to do with Question Well, and I only have the free one. Let me go to start with Google, and hopefully it'll let me sign in with my school account without making me do anything crazy right now. Because you know how you had to sign in and give it access. There we go. And give it access, and I don't know what else. And I know it's all for the sake of security, but it's annoying. I don't know. Am I the only one who feels it's annoying? So let me see. Oh, and of course I changed my password today, because they make me change the password all the time. And I understand why, but yes, it's annoying. I understand it's a security thing, but it's just annoying. It should be letting me in anytime soon. Let me tell it too on my phone, because I had to verify it. Thank you, Angelica. I was like, am I the only one who feels it's annoying? So here we go, okay? So I logged in and Question Well, and I'm just gonna say topic, Milena Wharton, Spanish 1, 9th grade, or yeah, let's just go with 9th grade. Language is going to be obviously Spanish here. Learning outcomes, I'm not gonna tell it to, because it will do them for me if I want to. Here's the reading I'm gonna provide that came straight from, that's one slide, right? From Senor Ashby. And I'm gonna tell it to generate. Now, you can do fill in the blank and short answer if you upgrade. I never upgraded. And probably because this is just a little bit of text, it's only going to give me a few questions, but I have pasted more text before, and sometimes it gives me up to 15 questions. But it's still, you know, questions I don't have to think about, which is nice. I'm totally capable of thinking about my own questions, but it's nice to have time saved during the day. So it's going to do my little fill in the blank questions. Not fill in the blank, multiple choice, I'm sorry. So let's say that in that same class, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to introduce Milena Wharton, I'm going to introduce her, I'm going to talk about Machu Picchu, I'm going to talk about Peru and everything else, and then I'm going to play a game kit for comprehension check. So here are my 10 questions. Just with that little bit of tiny little thing, I have 10 questions. Okay, so if I were using this with my students, I would say, okay, language, actually this language is pretty good. Alcanzando, maybe if I'm doing with level 1, they're not going to understand that. Maybe I will change that, etc., etc., etc. But I'm not going to change any questions right here. What I'm going to do is we are going to see how magical this is, and it's free. So we want to make sure that it says link copied. We want to make sure that we bring this with, we use it with, I want to select all, because I liked all the questions, and I'm going to export them. Now, which platform do you use? I'm going to explore them personally to Gimkit, because that's the one that I love the most, because they have the most games, and it's just, and it's going to say all done. Just a reminder, these questions were created using, and we cannot guarantee accuracy. Okay. So here's the little, I say export, and I told it that I wanted for Gimkit. Here's the little file. Do you see it right here on the top? It says Milena Wharton Spanish 1. Yes. So it's right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Gimkit, and I'm probably going to have to go through the annoying task of logging in again. And I'm very, very sorry. But yes, I'm going to go to Gimkit, and I'm going to log in. And of course, I'm going to do it with my Google account from school, if it lets me. I have about 20 tabs. That's probably also not helping. Oh no, it's thinking too much. Yeah, normally this doesn't happen. It doesn't think this much. Um, the reason why is probably my computer because I have a lot of files and a lot, like I said, full desktop. I haven't taken the time to clean it, all kinds of things. So let me see. Is it gonna let me go back? Seems like it's frozen. Oh no. All right. Can you still hear me okay? Yes? Yeah, okay. Awesome. But let me see, because it's not letting me move anything anymore, y'all. It's not letting me move anything. Let me see if it'll come back to life in just a moment. But yes, so the idea is I log into GimKit, and have you ever exported anything from another, like from Quizlet, when you used to be able to export files from Quizlet? But yeah, so if you use GimKit, and Kay is saying loves GimKit, but if you use anything else for that matter, it doesn't. You can use it with Kahoot. Like it will download a file for you to do it in Kahoot, and then you'll be able to go to Kahoot, GimKit, or BlueKit, and then when it says create the game, it gives you the option of exporting it from somewhere else. So you will go to export that, and in a matter of like 2 minutes, you will have your GimKit ready, and you don't have to make it, because how long does it take to make a GimKit? A long, long, long time. So yeah. So, oh my goodness, it's not moving anymore. Let me see. What can I do? Okay, there we go. Something's happening now. My apologies, but it's my computer wants to think tonight a lot. And I also have so many tabs because I wanted to have all the tabs ready. So that's another reason why I had all the tabs. Okay, so here we are. Now it's giving me here. Let me see. Should we try GimKit one more time, or should we just let it go?
Bertha, you might want to try to close as many tabs as you can. Running Zoom and sharing your screen does take a lot of computer sort of power.
That totally would
So
make
that's
a lot
just
of
a technical
sense.
suggestion. Try to close as many things as you can, and it might come back. Your computer may recover.
Okay, thank you.
I also have like 100 tabs open, so I've the same thing has happened to me.
Thank you. No. I mean, yeah, like normally I have a lot of tabs open, but yeah, no big deal. So right now, am I still sharing my screen? Yes, you can still see it. Okay, let me close some tabs, because I have 2 desktops. I mean, yeah. So the second one is not full, it's only the first one. But it's not even letting me close any tabs right now.
If you have another sort of window open, you can just close like Chrome, and then you can kind of try to reopen it again. That might work.
Okay,
Just close it.
I'm gonna try that. It's just not letting me click on anything right now, which is weird, because I should be frozen by now if like all of this everything's happening. So I should be the one frozen. And I forgot what is the code to not Control Alt Delete, because that's for like Windows, but for Mac, what is the code that gives you all the suggestions to close? But I'm afraid that if I do that, it's gonna just close the Zoom altogether. So, and I'm looking this way because I'm trying to close the other windows. Oh no! Oh, there we went. No. Oh, there, hold on, there we go. Okay, I'm about to close all of them on the side. Finally. Okay, that one's gone, so hopefully that'll come back. So we got rid of half of the tabs on the other side, so that's good. Okay, now do I even want to? Okay, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it, because. So thank you. It seems like we're good now. So thank you so much for that suggestion. Let's see.
Roxam is amazing.
That will save you time and help your students get better at
Okay,
STEM.
I am back.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know. It
Yay.
just kicked me
Welcome.
out. Okay.
It kicked me out too. I was lost for a minute. I was like, where? Why?
That's so funny.
So fun.
Okay, let me change my This is the one reason why I don't miss virtual school at all whatsoever, because these little things. Let me just put my regular face. Okay, so my regular face, because I have too many faces. Okay, so here we go. So I just logged into GimKit. So what you're going to do, we got the file. I still have the file here that we downloaded from QuestionWell, but I closed QuestionWell, and I'm gonna just call it Milena Wharton, and I'm going to say this is gonna be in Spanish. And next. And I'm just gonna pick whichever photo for now, just because you already waited for so long. So, and I feel so bad. So we're going to go to import spreadsheet. So we're gonna go here, upload file. Now I'm scared when I see that little circle. And essentially what it should do is it should bring the file. Oh, there we go. There we go. So I'm gonna go find this file. There it is. And I'm gonna open it. And there it is. There's my GimKit. So there's my entire GimKit with my 10 questions that it took me just a few seconds to do. And I promise you, when you do this at school, you won't have the tech issues that I have, because I've done this at school numerous times. So yeah, so that's how easy you make a GimKit. That's how easy you make it. So yes, Sylvia's like, look at all those documents. Okay, so you saw how easy it was. That's why I said that this website that is QuestionWell is super underrated, because people are always talking about Tweet, ChatGPT, all these other great sites that are amazing, but QuestionWell is so useful. I know it only builds questions, but it's so useful because every teacher uses all of these gaming platforms, so it's great. Okay, so awesome. So thank you so much for your patience, because of my tech troubles. Oh my goodness, tech troubles, I hate them. So the next thing I want to say is that the other thing you want to do with your music for sure, and I'm so glad that Hugo made it tonight, is that you want to experience a Roxam app if you haven't. It's such a great app. I absolutely love it. I learned about it from my friend Esther Gallo initially about a year ago or so, and then I started using it, and I said, oh my God, this is wonderful. And then the other thing is that, honestly, when people open or they have websites like this where you have a subscription, it's hard when you find someone that is open to teacher feedback. And Hugo is just so great and so amazing. And he made it just, he with the emails that he sent, he's always asking for feedback. He's always just welcoming it and all the suggestions. And I'm so grateful. So before I talk about it, Hugo, I'm going to pass it over to you. if you would like to say something about Roxem, and I'm sure you probably, maybe you had the opportunity to talk while I was off for a second, but if you want to add anything else, and then I will share some of the things I've used with Roxem.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Profe. So as I just mentioned, I'm Hugo, the creator of Roxem, and it sounds like some people in the webinar are already using Roxem. I've heard of it. So thanks for trying it out. We're a brand new app. Our tagline is learning language with music. So I think it really fits the theme of this webinar really well. My journey to Roxem actually is I started as a Chinese teacher. I taught high school Chinese for many years. In fact, right now I'm actually subbing at my old high school today. But I always loved using music in my classroom, just like Bertha. And so during the actually during the pandemic, when I was working from home and teaching from home and had a lot of extra time, some people picked up a hobby, like they started baking. I said, I want to try to create my own app. So I actually took an online coding class, and I learned how to code and program, and that's actually how Roxem got started. It was actually a sort of a student project when I was working from home during COVID. And I think we sort of launched almost a year ago, and I think we've been just getting adding things, making it better. And thank you for all your feedback and support. I think it's really exciting, all the new ed tech tools that are coming out. We're planning to add a lot of really cool features to Roxem, using a sort of generative AI and other things in the near future as well. So thank you so much, Bertha, for inviting me.
Oh, well, thank you. Can you tell us the difference a little bit of between the free version and the paid version, because you do have both versions available at the website?
Well, for Roxem is freemium, like a lot of things. So it's sort of, there's a basic paid version, free version. And actually a lot of things are free. So like all our songs are free. We create sort of, we've curated hundreds of Spanish songs. We've added interactive lyrics, and translations and definitions to all the songs. We have editors who did that. That's completely free, so you can go and you can watch like the music videos, and then you can play like a live game, a classroom game with your students. It's a little bit like Gimkit with songs, actually. So it's kind of a fun game, but you're listening to the music and getting extra listening practice with authentic content as well. So that's completely free. And the paid version is if you want to do some more advanced things, like you want to create a class, invite students, assign homework, things like that. So with one Roxem Pro teacher account, you can create unlimited classes, unlimited students. And that is $10 a month, or like $60 a year. But I think actually Bertha can give you a discount on that as well.
Yes, there is a code that I've been sharing, and it's still the same code, and I'm gonna type it in there. It's Delgadillo25, and it will give you 25% off of your yearly subscription. So for me, it was like when I used it the first time, it was a no-brainer, because I'm like, I want to especially because I do attend conferences a lot, and I want my students to not just have to do like boring stuff when I'm gone. Like I want to sprinkle, some exciting activities. So they really enjoy the WAC award, and I'm actually gonna share. We're actually gonna play some of this. That's why this session it was meant to be a little bit longer here. So, so yes. So here I'm gonna have to open it because I had it open on the tabs that I closed. But now we're going to close Gimkit and we're going to go to this one. Let me close this other one right here too. So I'm going to log in, and I am actually already logged in as my teacher, with my teacher account. And as you can see, I do have classes. here and the assignments that I have assigned, and I can go and track it. It gives me the names of my students, who did it, if it was late, all of that. So I get all of those, all of that data here, and I really appreciate it. And it's so easy for the students to sign in. It's so easy for you to create a class. But again, this is only going to be happening under the premium version. But again, you can play regular games with the freemium version. So we're gonna do one very, very quickly. And yes, Angela, we will be talking about Blackout Poetry as well. Okay, so French available? Yes, there's Spanish, French, and Chinese. So here we're gonna do, since we were talking about Milena and this song is in here, we're gonna go find her. We're gonna go find Milena. There she is. Okay, so we're gonna do a song by Milena very quickly. We might not play the entire game, but just so that you get the experience that your students will get as well, we're gonna play a live game, whack a word. This is my students' favorite. You can tell it if the students are going to have to select, what are they going to select? The word, the definition, or you want them to do it random. I want them to listen. I want to do ear training because, you know, music songs are fast. So I want them to do that. And I want the video at 100. We're going to do it at 100 speed. So you can do it with a lower speed. So yes, so I can do other things. I can enable powers because the kids can have powers to do different things, like freeze people, I think, or I'm not sure. I play so many games, Hugo, so I may be mistaken with freezing people, but they do have powers. Okay.
You can freeze people. That's one of them. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And then you can also like get ahead. There's a power that I have a student who says he loves Roxanne because he normally does not get ahead of the class, but with the power that he chooses strategically, he can beat the class. And yeah, he just brags about it all the time. So we're gonna just click create game. And let me make sure I'm sharing my sound. I'm not sharing sound, so that's not gonna be helpful if I'm not sharing sound now. And if you would please join me in this game, we're gonna go to Roxanne, this website, or you can do it on your phone. And then we're gonna have the users come in. And whoever put the number code, this happens in the classroom all the time too. So it's all good. So the students can also join, and they can, you know, they can scan the QR code, or they can just join this way. And again, we won't play the entire game, but you'll definitely get to experience it. So here we go. Okay, I'll go ahead and get it started. I don't know if everybody's going to join. Some people might be driving or things of that nature, but we have 21 out of 32 people who are logged in at the moment. So, but you can still join late, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Because my students sometimes, you know, they join. So we're gonna play the song. Hear it, yes? Hear sound?
Hay un lugar cerca a las nubes donde se escucha el viento
at the bottom there, the answer button you press in order to fill the blank. That's how the game works.
Mi cuerpo se envuelve en un cuento y fluye sin tormento. Tan maravilloso, ya no sales de mi mente. Tan maravilloso, único, tan diferente. Tan maravilloso, ya no sales de mi mente. Tan maravilloso, me llevas al cielo que casi ya puedo sentir el bom, bom, bom. Sentir el bom, bom, bom. Sentir el de la mañana vimos el amanecer con tanto.
I'm sorry, did you ask something, Hugo?
Oh, sorry. I think you asked me to unmute. I was.
Oh no, because somebody was asking how many students can I have, and you said no limit. So
Yeah.
there's no limit to the students who can log in.
Well, I don't know. I've never tried it with 500 people. It should still work.
Okay, but I hope nobody has more than 40 people in their class. I mean, even more than 30, it's a lot. So
Right.
But
It should
I
work with
know
any class size.
but I know that people have like 38 or more. So yeah, so this is how you play Waka Word, and at the end, just like everything else, it will give you it will give you a little report of who earned how many points and all of that. So that's really, really wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this game, but this is not the only game you can play in here. There are other games that you can play, and then you can see a report and all of those details, and it's just wonderful, and the students really, really enjoy it. So if you are assigning, let's say that I want to assign for homework, I will just go over here and I can create a song. I don't have to create anything because it's already done for me. So I can go to song lesson, and I'm gonna scare my students. So I'm gonna give it to third period, and I'm gonna choose lyrics. I want specific lyrics. So this is what I really like about Roxham too, that I don't have to assign this whole song. So I can choose, yes, I want this. I want this one, and I want this one. So I'm just randomly, but I can go through the whole song and select the lyrics. I try not to do more than like 6 because that's a lot. It does take them a lot of time, but you can do whatever it is that you want. And then, I just choose the due date. And again, if you do this is going to be obviously with a premium version. And because you're adding it to a class, and I already have my class set up. So I have a due date right there, and I just click create, and my students, it will create the assignment for me, and I can just drop that link, like share assignment, and I can just share it with my learners. So that's and then it's here. Here is the activity that they have to get done. So yeah, so it's wonderful. And as you can see, like we did the song Recuérdame recently for Dia de Muertos, and we did Waka Word, lyric puzzle is another one that they can do, and then the song lesson. So these are the 3 activities that you can totally assign your learners to have more practice and to just work with the song more. And then you can see that I also did a couple of songs from the Locotubre competition here. So I mean, you can assign so many things, and the students definitely enjoy it. So it is another thing that to me is worth every penny, because it saves me time, and it gives my students an opportunity to interact with the language more in a very meaningful way with actual authentic songs, because I mean, we can do songs that are created for Spanish learners, and that's wonderful. I still use those too. But authentic songs, that's an authentic resource you're using. And that's what, we as teachers need to do. So I already exited of the report that we just did. And I'm sorry, I cannot show you my actual reports because it does have my students' names in there. So I'm not able to share those right now. Lo siento. So, but yeah, but you definitely can check this out if you want to assign classes and all of that. So that is Roxham in a very, very, very short nutshell, because you totally could do a session on just doing nothing but playing Roxham games so that people can have the experience and test it out and use it with their students. But honestly, what I wanted you to see is that I did not plan anything. I did not plan anything as far as like pre-planning for this. I just knew that I was going to talk to you about this. But if you saw, I literally just did a lesson with Milena Wharton, right? Like I went to Senior Ashby, I got my text from there about Milena. I went to Twee, I got more text from there and questions. And then I went to Question Well, and then I turned it into a GIMP kit. And now we are doing, I can use the song. I can do more things with the song, of course. And then, I can lead my students to Roxham so that they can interact with the song more. So yes. So the last thing I'm going to talk about today is going to be blackout poetry, which is an idea that I share that is not my idea, because, I'm definitely not going to take credit for this idea. I don't know who came out with blackout poetry. I think it was a person who used to work for a newspaper, but I may be incorrect. But all of a sudden, more people started doing blackout poetry, and some teachers brought it to the classroom, ELA classroom that is, and we are now doing them in the language classroom. So essentially, blackout poetry is that, right? If you look at this picture here in the background, you see text, and then there's text that is that stands out, and that's the text that you focus on. So essentially, you are creating your own meaning to a text that is given to you. So I used to do blackout poetry before, and what I would do is I will copy the verse, and I will have the verse in 2 columns. In 1 column. So if I had a song, it will be the verses, and they will be in the middle. But I found this other thing. Oh no, my pleasure, Hugo. Thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate everything you're doing for us as language teachers, and for the Chinese teachers and French teachers. And I'm so glad that when I do workshops on music, I can tell the French teachers, yes, this is available for French and Chinese. So it's wonderful. Thank you. But so like I was telling you, when I copied and pasted the verses for blackout poetry, I used to just do the verses. But then I found this website, and I'm gonna click on it and pray that I don't get frozen. What? Yes, I wanna continue. And it's this website, and I want to share the link with you right now. But I'm gonna send you the presentation that has the link right there. That's the link. So what you're going to do is this. It's this little thing, and what you do is you go to Google, and you're going to go to let me see. Well, let's do Maravilloso Milena. Since we were just, we're still working with Maravilloso. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to copy her lyrics. And of course, I'm just going to stop right here, but I could copy more and, keep going. Well, I should have just copied everything, but anyway, we're right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here, paste it, and if I want to put punctuation, I can put punctuation, maybe a comma instead of a period, right? Or not, or I don't have to put the punctuation. It doesn't matter. That is going to be up to you if you want to put the punctuation in there or not. When I did gracias, I did put punctuation as best as I could, according to, okay, I think this would be a comma. But the reason why, because I want to make it like this. So I'm going to go enter text, and now it's made this for me so that the students can actually do blackout poetry. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to screenshot this little blurb. And the reason why I screenshot it is because I have a worksheet template where I have my students do blackout poetry. So, and I'm gonna share that with you. So first, again, so what I do when I'm going to do blackout poetry, I copy and paste the lyrics, and then I put it in here, and I click on enter text, and it makes it so that it's just text. And the reason why I like it so much better, because like, again, I used to do it where the verse was in the middle, and then the creativity was not as great. When my students get the song this way, they're much more creative with their blackout poetry. It just flows so much better artistically too. I can also change the font. I can give it another look. So I can change it to this font, this font, this font, this one, or this one. I like that one, actually. I really like the original one. So, and I can also make it bigger to fill the page. And actually, that's even much better. Or make it smaller. So I have done a screenshot, but I'm going to do it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot it. There it is. And again, remember what I told you, blackout poetry is out of this song, out of this meaning, I'm going to make my own phrase or my own verse or my own message that is important to me. And the message can be a bunch like sentences, or the message can be just one sentence with like scattered words. Okay, so for example, I could say cerca cerca en, cerca en mi mente, close to my mind, yeah, cerca en mi mente, cerca en mi mente, and so on and so forth. So I can select what it is. And actually, students can black out in here. They can do their own blackout in here. And what I mean by that is like, I'm going to say las nubes or cuerpo, like they click on the word. Let me just do it randomly. And students could black out like this. This is what blackout poetry is, okay? Except that right now, this does not make any sense whatsoever. If I were doing it intentionally, it should say, like what I read here, 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 should give me a new message, okay? So if I were doing this correctly, what I had blackout should be giving me a brand new message of that entire song. But again, I don't like to give my students this and have them do it on the computer because it takes away from the whole creative aspect of it. So that's why I go in here, I do the song, and I do put punctuation because if you don't put punctuation, this is what's going to happen. It's not going to separate that. See, it's not gonna separate the words. So that's why I recommend you do punctuation. But for time purposes, I'm not doing punctuation. So here's my text that my students are gonna work with. And the other thing you wanna have ready for your students that I am facilitating for you is going to be clear instructions, okay? I'm sharing my Padlet of resources with you that I made to support my students. So what my students need, they need the document. Now, this one is for Gracias los Polinesios. But if I were to make this for Milena Wharton's Maravilloso, I would just make a copy of Padlet very easily. And then I would change this video to Milena's video. And then the document, the link would be, I would just upload the document, the new document. And then I have clear instructions. I have the instructions in, because this is the shareable Padlet that I share with teachers, because it is a shareable one, I put the instructions in English and in Spanish, but so that teachers can decide how they want to give it to their students. And I just shared the link in there as well. But again, in the presentation, you'll find this link. It is very important that the students have clear instructions, because I did not use, when I was doing blackout poetry in the past, I did not give clear instructions. And it still came out okay, but not to the level these kids are doing their blackout poetry now. Like they're just doing like wonderful things. And I'll tell you what else I did to help my students do even better. Okay, so here is a tutorial, and no, the tutorial is not in Spanish. It was hard to find blackout poetry tutorials in Spanish, very, very hard, that were comprehensible and whatnot. So what I did is I gave my students the tutorials, and I said, I gave them instructions in class, of course. I gave them instructions in class, but I said, go watch a tutorial if you still have questions. And you don't have to watch it all. You can just like kind of zoom through it, but there it is. And then the other thing that I did is I made a rubric. I did not used to give them rubric. It used to be completion grade, but now I have a rubric that works for me that I'm sharing with you that you can make a copy of, and then you can change it if you don't like it. Okay, because grading, you know, I mean, so here's my rubric: poem clarity, readability, language connection, artistic elements, overall presentation, excellence, and originality. And the reason why I give this one, excellence and originality, 2 points is because it's not the same as artistic elements. So they're really getting 7 points out of like just putting extra thought, being creative, and all of that. But you can change this around, okay? You can totally change this, make a copy and change it. So so that is in there. So this, I literally share this Padlet link with my students so that they know where to find inspiration as well. So right here, yes, Zenia, right here, we are going, I also share with them examples from that I found online, so that they could see that they could do so many different types of blackout poetry. And I told them, go on Google and search blackout poetry examples, and you're gonna see examples for inspiration, okay? So yes, so I'm sharing this link with you. I made a blog post about it, and actually, if you want to read that blog post, it's right there. So again, I go to the poetry maker, I paste my song, I put the punctuation, and then I tell it to make my text. I take a screenshot of the text, and then what I do is I go to my actual document, and let me go over here to my Google Drive. I have so many Google Drives, y'all. It's embarrassing. So many things. So we're gonna go to this one. Is it this one? Yes, okay. So this is the one that I share with teachers. I also made an activity that says, what is blackout poetry? So it explains to the students what is blackout poetry in English, because they want to know, right? And then here's the rubric. And then here is the template. So what you can do is, I'm gonna go make a copy, and I'm gonna say blackout poetry assignment, Milena. I'm gonna put Milena. I'm gonna erase this one once I make it, because it's not gonna, it doesn't have punctuation for time purposes. But I just wanna tell you, like, if you wanna do any song, blackout poetry with any song whatsoever, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this away, and I'm gonna go to insert picture, and I'm gonna go find my file from my desktop, and it's not gonna be hard. Look at all those screenshots. So here it is, and I can make it a little bit bigger, and then I can say maravilloso Milena Wharton. Okay, so and now here, that's how I make it. So literally just go to that website that I share with you, put your lyrics in there, take a screenshot of this, and then make a copy of this document that I share, that I share with you, that I will share with you, and then put your name of your song and put a new picture and adjust it however big you want it to be, and just give it to your students. Give it to your students so that they can do the blackout poetry in this. And so that ends up looking, depending on the students, this is one example right here. This is another example right here. And there were many teachers who used this with their students when I shared it, who had beautiful examples that they share with me. So I do like to be extra with my students. And for that reason, to make it even more creative, we have some students who are naturally creative. Like this one right here, she always makes the most beautiful things. And so does, no, I don't think I have her example in here. But how much time do I allow for this? So if they're doing it, last time we did it for maybe like 60 minutes or so. I mean, so yeah, so this is the type of activity that when people just kind of, you know, this was right before Thanksgiving too. So it's that kind of that time that, you know, they don't want to be there, you don't want to be there, but you still want it to be enjoyable, and you still want it to be a good learning experience. And that's normally like when it's close to a break or something like that, that's when I will do an activity like this. It's so relaxing. We enjoyed it so much. Yes, do it with perfect timing, right before the next holiday break for sure. So yeah, definitely try it. Something else too, and you don't have to go do this, but I did, and it made the whole world of a difference, is that I went to Amazon and I looked for stencils. So I have this type of stencils. And not only that one, there's a bunch of stencils. You can go Amazon stencil, and like I did invest some money in it. I maybe spent like $30 on it, because I bought several stencils. So the student, because the reason why I did this is because there are students who are not artists, and they want to do a great job too. So this is to facilitate that experience for them too, so that they too can do something beautiful even if they're not artists. So so yeah, my students they were so happy that I had those stencils. And of course, because of the stencils, I have now even better pieces. But it's obviously, it is about the creative aspect. It's got a lot of social emotional learning components in here, but at the same time, it's a lot of thinking that goes into blacking out deciding what you're gonna black out. You literally have to read the text, and no, you don't have to understand the entire song. You can do this even with lower levels, because they will only understand some words, but that is okay. They can still make a baby sentence out of the lyrics of one big song. They can still make a very so it differentiates itself. Blackout poetry differentiates itself, because the students will only be able to focus on the words they know, and they will be able to make a sentence out of that. So I hope that I have brought more clarity to blackout poetry for you tonight. Let me know if you have any questions. I will open it for questions today. If you have questions for Hugo, or if you have questions for me about anything that I've shared tonight, please let me know. And while you're asking the questions, let me try to give you this link, even though I am going to email it to you. Okay, thank you, Mike. I'm so glad to hear that you found this useful. Angela, your hand is up. Let's go.
Hola, Berta. Gracias por todo. This is all amazing, but I'm just wondering if, out of curiosity, do you know of an AI tool that we can maybe like upload infographics and it will generate questions based on, do you know if there's one?
Not yet. Probably somebody's gonna come up with one soon, but I mean, I don't know. And just because
ChatGPT might work.
really
We
with
can
the
try in ChatGPT.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I think you need the
pro.
the paid
the
version.
pro version though.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not totally sure, but they
Yeah, I know
they
with
kind of support that.
ChatGPT with the pro version, you can upload PDFs and it will generate questions for you.
Right.
So that would make sense, but all right, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any more questions about anything else? Or about blackout poetry? I just want to make sure that people on, you know, I just wanted to share this part of the evening, because I wanted to share the resources. I know many times people see resources, sometimes they don't know about it for whatever reason, and that's fine. But just, I mean, the amount of time it saves without sacrificing the effectiveness of the lesson, the engagement of the students, it's just amazing to me, with all the tools that I have shared tonight. And of course, there's a lot more out there, and a lot more things you can do. If you did not know, and this is not the reason why we are here today, but and I actually did not post it in here. So if you did not know, Annabelle Williamson, La Maestra Loca, and I do have a course on music, where we talk about how to integrate music. If you want to know more about how to extend everything in a purposeful way for your students, we do have a course available where we have many people who have taken it, and they have enjoyed it, and they have learned so much from it. Angela?
Quick question, Bertha. I purchased the course 2 years ago,
Mhm.
but I just now finished it, and I didn't know if like there would be like a coaching call for questions in the future for that.
For that one, did we meet once already in the
I
course?
think you did, but it was a while ago.
Yeah, I think because I don't know, maybe if we officially relaunch it again, we might do a coaching call again. But right now we don't have one scheduled.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Carmen, ¿tiene pregunta?
Sí, hola Berta. Una pregunta. No me recuerdo bien el rubric que compartiste acerca del Blackout Poetry.
Ajá.
¿Necesita ser relacionado con la nueva oración o historia que ellos crean?
Yeah, I mean, it has to do with, Carmen is asking if the rubric has to do with the newly created sentence that they do with the blackout poetry. So yes, I mean, when I say readability, yes, when I read your statement, does it make sense to me? Does it make sense? Now, it does not have to be perfect, but it has to make sense. And the other thing that I did not tell you, before my students, here are the instructions on the blackout poetry. Before my students, it says in here, eliminate the text. So I give them the instructions, right? Scan the text, look for the words that call your attention. Do it with pencil, right? Circle those words lightly with pencil, then read through your words again, and then circle your favorite. The words need to flow together to express an idea, create an image, or develop a theme or message. And then share your selection by reading it out loud with a friend to make sure the concept is coming together. And then I also have them share it with me. So before they actually do all the artwork, I do give them the chance to share with me their sentence that they came up with. And it's just beautiful how much thought some of these students put into it. Obviously not all of them, but but a good bit of them, they're just like, oh yes, so it's so wonderful. Like I didn't even think about that. So so yeah, and in the rubric where it says readability, yes, can I read the new sentence, the new theme, the new text you created with the blackout poetry? So that's what that is about.
Thank you so much.
All right, are there any more questions before we log off? And if you just give me 1 second, I will put this link in here. I should have it ready, but I did not have it ready. So I'm just trying to put it in here. And that here we go. I'm gonna move this one over here to the other side. Okay, so and then I'm going to add one more thing to my presentation, which is, well, I'm supposed to add 2 more things. And one is use the code. If you want to go pro with Roxem, you can use my code. I want to say that I'm sharing this code because I think the product is great. And normally when I share codes, I like to let people know, oh, you know, I'm getting a small commission for this and everything. But this is a code that I ask for because I was said, I got to share this with more teachers. So yes, I definitely it's gonna be great for you if you want to get your students, if you want to track your students' work, and you can upgrade to the paid version with the code. And Hugo said that the code is it stays there, so it stays there, so there's no rush necessarily. Okay. Alrighty. Let me get this going for you. All right, I'm going to stop my share and I'll share the link in just a second. I'm waiting on it to download. There it is. All right, let me know if I'm going to put it on the group chat. Let me know if you cannot open it, but you should be able to open it. Okay, so that is the link to the presentation for tonight. And again, thank you so much for coming. I'm so appreciative of your time, and you will be receiving a recording of this. And no, I won't have time to edit it, so you're gonna see all the imperfections and all the tech glitches. You can just skip over through that if you need to revisit the video, okay? Because I really don't have time to edit. Sorry. But thank you for your time, and I will see you guys soon. I will see you on social media, and I will be seeing you at some other workshop in the near future. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hugo. And you guys have a great afternoon. Those of you who are on the West Coast and East Coast people, don't stay up too late, okay? says who's probably gonna go to sleep in like 3 more hours. So,
Bertha, can I ask you one question?
of course.
I purchased your music to my year's class, but I can't seem to find it. So
okay. If you want to stay for a moment, I can help you with that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye, Berta. Good to see you.